1. Traditionally oriented teaching following a rigid curriculum, fixed timetable, single textbook, and rigid age grouping as A.N. Correct answer. D. Curriculum barrier, a policy barrier. Refers to limitations created by educational policies or administrative regulations that hinder access or equity in education. Example: policies restricting students from certain backgrounds may be involves environmental or infrastructural challenges, such as inaccessible classrooms or lack of ramps for students with disabilities. C. Attitudinal barrier. Refers to negative attitudes, stereotypes, or biases of teachers, peers, or society that prevent inclusive education. D. Curriculum barrier. Occurs when the curriculum is rigid, outdated, or does not accommodate diverse learning needs. A one-size-fits-all approach limits personalized learning and creativity. 2. Sometimes non-availability of a school or its location in inaccessible areas becomes a major barrier for children with special needs to get. Correct answer. C. Inclusive education, a integrated education. Refers to placing children with special needs in mainstream schools without necessary adaptations, often without adequate support. B. Special education. Involves separate schooling or classes designed specifically for children with disabilities, often segregated from their peers. C. Inclusive education. Aims to integrate all students, regardless of ability, in regular classrooms with appropriate support and adaptations, promoting equity and accessibility. D. Open education. Refers to flexible learning opportunities, often provided through online or distance learning. 3. Which of the following does not have a positive impact on educational attainment for children experiencing poverty? Correct answer. D. Poor general health and mental well-being, a parental engagement with a child's education. Enhances motivation, provides emotional support, and improves academic performance. B. Quality preschool education. Lays the foundation for cognitive, emotional, and social development, especially for disadvantaged children. C. Co-curricular school time support. Provides additional learning opportunities and academic assistance, enhancing overall development. D. Poor general health and mental well-being. Negatively affects concentration, attendance, and overall academic performance. 4. By including the language and culture of disadvantaged and marginalized groups within the school curriculum, a teacher can ensure. Correct answer. B. Equity in education, a equality in education. Implies providing the same resources and opportunities to all students, but may not address individual needs. B. Equity in education. Involves providing resources and support tailored to individual needs, ensuring fair opportunities for all students, especially marginalized groups. C. Sympathy for the underprivileged. Refers to pity or compassion, which does not directly contribute to systemic change in education. D. Practical education for the underprivileged. Focuses on skill-based learning but may not address cultural and linguistic diversity. 5. Holding a person's address in mind while listening to instructions about how to get there is an example of. Correct answer. C. Working memory, a attention. Refers to focusing on specific information while ignoring other stimuli, but does not involve holding information. B. Long-term memory. Stores information over an extended period but is not involved in temporary tasks. C. Working memory. Involves temporarily holding and manipulating information for cognitive tasks like problem solving or following directions. D. Information processing. Refers to how the brain perceives, stores, and retrieves information, but it encompasses more than just working memory. 6. Mohan provides students with containers of different capacities to learn the concept of volume. Farah asks students to brainstorm ways to make waste disposal mechanical. Both teachers are employing. Correct answer. B. Constructivism, A. Behaviorism, focuses on learning through rewards and punishments, emphasizing observable behavior rather than active exploration. B. Constructivism emphasizes learning as an active, student-centered process where knowledge is constructed through hands-on experiences and problem-solving. C. Direct instruction involves explicit teaching where the teacher provides step-by-step instructions, limiting student exploration. D. Operant conditioning, a type of behaviorism where learning is influenced by rewards and punishments. 7. A teacher designs a test to find out the cause of the poor grades of learners through an. Correct answer. A. Diagnostic test. A diagnostic test identifies learning difficulties or gaps in knowledge to provide targeted intervention. B. Proficiency test measures overall competence in a specific subject or skill. C. Achievement test assesses knowledge or skills gained after instruction. D. Aptitude test predicts a student's potential to learn new skills or succeed in a specific area. 8. Perception, diagnosis, and reaction processes are major activities undertaken in the. Correct answer. B. Interactive phase, A. Pre-active phase, refers to planning and preparation before teaching begins. B. Interactive phase involves the actual teaching process, where the teacher interacts with students and adjusts strategies based on feedback. C. Post-active phase refers to reflection and evaluation after the lesson to improve future instruction. D. Introductory phase focuses on the initial engagement or introduction of a topic. 9. The focus of which method is on developing the skill of learning to learn. Correct answer. B. Child-centered method, A. Teacher-centered method, involves direct instruction with limited student participation. B. Child-centered method emphasizes active learning, critical thinking, and developing skills for independent learning. C. Activity method uses hands-on tasks to enhance learning but focuses more on specific activities than independent learning skills. D. Project method encourages students to work on real-life projects, fostering collaboration and practical learning. 10. Which of the following is not a salient feature of school-based assessment, SBA? Correct answer. D. Mechanical use of multiple techniques of teaching, A. Focus on assessment of as learning, emphasizes formative assessment to improve learning rather than summative evaluation. B. Reposing faith in teachers and the system, trusts teachers to assess students' progress effectively. C. Enhancing self-confidence in children, encourages self-reflection and self-assessment, boosting confidence. D. Mechanical use of multiple techniques, refers to rigid, non-flexible assessment practices that do not align with SBA's philosophy of dynamic and reflective assessment. 11. An approach to teaching and learning that creates feedback, which is then used to improve students' performance, is. Correct answer. C. Assessment for learning, A. Learning for assessment, focuses on learning solely for the purpose of performing well on assessments, which does not emphasize feedback or improvement. B. Learning outcomes refers to the specific goals or skills students are expected to achieve by the end of a lesson or course. C. Assessment for learning, a formative assessment approach where feedback is provided during the learning process to improve students' understanding and performance. D. Minimum levels of learning refers to the basic competencies students must achieve but does not involve ongoing feedback. 12. A systematic scoring guideline to evaluate students' performance through the use of a detailed description of performance levels is. Correct answer. A. Rubrics. Rubrics provide a detailed, standardized way to assess students' performance based on specific criteria and levels of achievement. B. National Assessment Questionnaire Survey gathers data on educational outcomes at a broader level but does not assess individual performance directly. C. Performance Chart tracks progress over time but lacks the detailed criteria found in rubrics. D. Sociometric Test Guidelines assess social relationships within a group, not academic performance. 13. Assessment is important for learning too. Correct answer. A. Foster motivation. Foster motivation. Effective assessment provides feedback that encourages students to improve and motivates them to learn. B. For the purpose of segregation and ranking. Segregates students based on performance, which can demotivate some learners. C. To lay emphasis on the overall importance of grades. Focuses solely on grades rather than learning, which may hinder intrinsic motivation. D. To facilitate exclusive peer assessment. Peer assessment is important, but fostering motivation involves broader strategies. 14. A three-dimensional chart showing the weightage given to objectives, content, and forms of questions is termed as. Correct answer. D. Blueprint. A. Anecdotal record. A qualitative record of specific events or behaviors. B. Cumulative record card. Tracks a student's progress over time but is not used for test design. C. Checklist. A simple tool to track the presence or absence of specific criteria. D. Blueprint. A detailed plan for test construction that ensures a balanced assessment across different topics and skills. 15. Peers assume central importance during. Correct answer. B. Middle childhood. A. Early childhood. Relationships are primarily centered on family members. B. Middle childhood. Peer relationships become significant, influencing social development and self-concept. C. Middle adulthood. Focus shifts to family, career, and social responsibilities. D. Young adulthood. Relationships with peers are important but often less central than romantic or familial relationships. 16. Change and stability in emotions, personality, and social relationships is. Correct answer. A. Psychosocial development. A. Psychosocial development involves changes in social interactions, emotional regulation, and personality over time. B. Psychomotor development refers to physical and motor skills development. C. Intellectual development involves cognitive abilities and intelligence. D. Spiritual development relates to the development of beliefs, values, and a sense of purpose. 17. Maturation and learning are factors that control the process of. Correct answer. B. Mental development. A. Physical development influenced by genetic and environmental factors like nutrition and exercise. B. Mental development controlled by both maturation, biological growth, and learning, environmental influences. C. Moral development involves changes in understanding right and wrong, often influenced by social experiences. D. Social development refers to how individuals interact and form relationships. 18. Growth and development in humans are a product of. Correct answer. D. Heredity and environment. A. Mental and social dimensions contribute to development but are not the sole factors. B. Moral and emotional dimensions influence specific aspects of development but not overall growth. C. Physical and mental dimensions important, but development is influenced by more than just these two factors. D. Heredity and environment. Genetic predispositions and environmental influences work together to shape growth and development. 19. The process of balancing assimilation and accommodation according to Piaget is termed as. Correct answer. D. Equilibration, a schema, a mental framework that helps organize and interpret information. B. Adaptation, the overall process of adjusting to new information through assimilation and accommodation. C. Accommodation, modifying existing schemas to fit new information. D. Equilibration, the process of achieving cognitive balance by reconciling new experiences with existing schemas. 20. Ruma has started to respond logically and organize her thoughts. According to Piaget, she has entered the. Correct answer. D. Formal operational stage. A concrete operational stage involves logical thinking about concrete events but lacks abstract reasoning. B. Pre-operational stage, characterized by symbolic thought but lacks logical reasoning. C. Sensory motor stage, involves learning through sensory experiences and motor actions. D. Formal operational stage, enables abstract thinking, logical reasoning, and problem solving. 21. According to Erikson, identity versus role confusion occurs during. Correct answer. B. Adolescence, a early adulthood, involves intimacy versus isolation. B. Adolescence, focuses on developing a sense of identity and resolving role confusion. C. Later childhood, involves industry versus inferiority. D. Middle adulthood, involves generativity versus stagnation. 22. Gender constancy occurs by the age of. Correct answer. C. 4 years, a 15 to 18 months, too early for gender constancy. B. 2.5 to 3 years. Gender identity begins to develop but constancy is not yet established. C. 4 years. Children understand that gender remains stable over time. D. 6 years. By this age, gender roles and behaviors are more firmly understood. 23. In psychoanalytic theories, gender role development focuses on. Correct answer. A. Identification. According to Freud, children develop gender roles by identifying with the same-sex parent during the phallic stage. B. Acquisition, refers to the process of gaining or learning a skill, not specific to psychoanalytic theory. C. Imitation, in social learning theory, children learn by imitating the behaviors of others, but this is not the primary focus of psychoanalytic theory. D. Evaluation, involves assessing something, which is unrelated to gender role development in psychoanalytic theories. 24. In the learning of science and mathematics, scientifically there is no difference in performance as a result of gender. Which of the following influences gender-based performance? Correct answer. C. Stereotyping, a culture, influences educational experiences but is not the direct cause of gender-based performance in science and mathematics. B. Attitude, affects individual motivation and learning but is often influenced by stereotypes. C. Stereotyping, gender stereotypes, such as, boys are better at math, can negatively impact performance and confidence. D. Race, may intersect with gender but does not directly explain differences in science and mathematics performance. 25. Mothers are assumed to be the primary caregivers, while fathers focus on work and providing for the family. This shows. Correct answer. B. Gender stereotype, a gender consistency, refers to the understanding that gender remains constant over time, unrelated to societal roles. B. Gender stereotype, refers to generalized beliefs about roles and behaviors typically associated with males and females. C. Gender identity refers to one's personal sense of their gender, which is different from societal stereotypes. D. Gender parity refers to equality between genders in various aspects of life. 26. Which method of child study provides a very rich and detailed picture of development as well as insights into topics that should be investigated in a larger sample of children? Correct answer. C. Case study. A longitudinal study involves studying the same group of children over a long period, providing developmental trends but less detailed individual data. B. Cross-sectional study compares different age groups at one point in time, offering a snapshot rather than detailed individual analysis. C. Case study in-depth study of an individual child, offering detailed insights into development. D. Anecdotal record a collection of specific observations but lacks the depth and structure of a case study. 27. An informal discussion that has no strict guidelines, allowing for an open-ended conversation, is. Correct answer. C. Unstructured interview. A structured interview follows a set of predetermined questions in a specific format. B. Semi-structured interview combines structured questions with flexibility for additional discussion. C. Unstructured interview. No set questions, allowing for a free-flowing conversation. D. Group discussion involves multiple participants discussing a topic, not necessarily an interview. 28. A method directed towards the study of individual behavior is. Correct answer. C. Clinical method. A differential method studies differences between groups, not individuals. B. Experimental method involves manipulating variables to study effects, often in groups. C. Clinical method focuses on in-depth analysis of individual behavior, often used in psychology and education. D. Observation method involves observing behavior without interference but may not provide as much depth as the clinical method. 29. Piaget's clinical method includes checking out what children may learn by. Correct answer. A. Experimentation. A. Experimentation. Piaget's method involves conducting experiments to understand how children think and learn. B. Learning by doing related to constructivist learning but not specific to Piaget's clinical method. C. Social interaction important for Vygotsky's theory but not central to Piaget's clinical method. D. Rote memorization involves repetitive learning without understanding, which Piaget opposed. 30. The statement, "Everyone belongs to the school, everyone is welcome to the school," refers to. Correct answer. B. Inclusion. A. Segregation the separation of individuals based on characteristics like disability, opposite of inclusion. B. Inclusion ensures that all students, regardless of their abilities or backgrounds, are part of the mainstream education system. C. Integration involves placing students with special needs in regular classrooms but may not ensure full participation. D. Coordination refers to organizing activities or resources unrelated to educational inclusion.